Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to another episode of My Hero Mondays. Yes, I took a break last Monday because Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and it was immensely fun. And plus, I kind of wanted to rest, from work. You guys already know my whole working job situation, where I work overnights, and it's kind of been tricky for me to, fully sleep on subsequent days that I have to come in. But we're not here to talk about my personal life. That can be in another separate video. But today we're going to be checking out Volume 13 of My Hero Academia, specifically titled A Talk About Your Quirk. And I'm really liking the way that the camera's set up, so it's more of me being in direct view of you guys. Alright, let's go ahead and start it off. We have chapters 109 all the way down to 118. So, let's get it started with Rescue Exercise, because, as a recap, we all know that the students of Class 1A and a bunch of other different students from different schools have all come to receive their provisional licenses. Now, they've already passed the first part of the exam, but now the second part of the exam has started, which is specifically rescue exercises, as Chapter 109 states. So, let's see how they do. For those of us who have already read through this and already seen the anime, we already know what happens. But, for those who don't, let's start. Chapter 109, Rescue Exercise. You examinees will enter the disaster scene as bystanders. And you all know that the proctor of this exam is incredibly sleep-deprived, so he sounds sleepy. I'm not sleepy this go-around because I actually had a day off yesterday. Ha! You examinees will enter the disaster scene as bystanders and will undertake a rescue exercise. Bystanders? That means people who happen to be on the scene. That means people who happen to be on the scene. We did this in class, remember? The term is also used to refer to ordinary civilians. You will not act as ordinary civilians, but as those who have hypothetically earned their provisional hero licenses. You're being tested on how well you respond in rescue situations. Huh? And Shoji's looking on. Look, there's some people. Huh? Huh? Old people and kids? What are they doing down there? That's dangerous! Everyone here is a highly trained professional rescuee and in very high demand as of late. Pro rescuees? So one of the panels shows like an old dude with fake blood on him, so I guess they're gonna, show off realistic rescue situations. Please welcome the good people of Help Us Company, or HUC for short. Who knew that was even a job? Heroes are so popular nowadays, so it makes sense. The members of HUC will be feigning injuries across the field. It is your task to rescue them. You will all be scored on how well you perform these rescues. Those who attain the required points at the end of the test will pass. We'll start in 10 minutes, so take your bathroom breaks now. And Midoriya's just looking on. Midoriya, says Ida. Yeah, it reminds me of that time in Communal Ward, too. But remember that the villains were keeping us from getting to Bakugo at the time. We retreated in order to let the professionals do their job. Also, many people actually died there. We can do this! And as people are speaking in the preparation rooms. Oh boy, I got one juicy story for you guys. What's it rated? R rated for sure. I'm listening, says Mineta, because you young boy thirsty. See the Shiketsu chick in the bodysuit? Yep. If you're just gonna tell us she's a hottie, you're late to the party, pal. I've been scoping her out this whole time. She was hanging out with Midoriya behind a rock. Totally nude. Midoriya! What's the big idea? We were out there risking our necks while you were doing who knows what? In the middle of a test, too? Is this a joke to you? Ouch, stop! What's this about? Don't play dumb, that girl! And you! What'd you do? And Kamie's just looking at him. And she just smiles. That's the subtle greeting that can only happen after a guy and a girl's relationship has gone to the next level! Boy, did we misjudge you, you womanizing scum! Mineta, you are not one to talk. Did Cyril tell you that? That's not what happened. It has something to do with her quirk. I still don't get it myself, but she was honestly scary. And Uraraka's just looking over at the commotion, still silent from the whole ordeal. Then we got Kirishima here. Shiketsu's headed our way. Excuse me, Bakugo. Yeah? Shishikura, the shifty-eyed one. He came after you, right? Look at that fur. Yeah, I crushed him. I thought so. He was probably terribly rude to you. You must have been offended. He has a bad habit of trying to force his values on others. He couldn't contain himself after seeing someone as notorious as yourself. We'd really like to build a good relationship with UA going forward, so please accept our apology. A good relationship? A good relationship? It sure doesn't seem that way. And Todoroki and Midoriya and Mineta are just looking around like, you want to build a good relationship? After what happened? A good relationship, says Todoroki, with that face. Because he's remembering where your boy, dang it, I forgot his name. Your boy with the wind power kind of glared at him when he spotted him in the preparation room beforehand. I really need to make it a habit to remember all of these characters' names. It's going to take me a while, but I'll do it. If you'll excuse us. Hey, crew cut. Did I do something to offend you? Oh. And he glares at him again. Nah, you'll have to forgive me, but it's 'cause you're Endeavor's son. I hate all of you. You've changed a lot since then, but those eyes look just like Endeavor's. Yoarashi, that's his name. Something wrong, Yoarashi. Nothing at all! My father's eyes. Todoroki. See you later. Sure. And both Mineta and Kaminari are still glaring at him. Sure. Oh, no you don't. You pervy whore dog! Like I said, you got it all wrong. She's actually totally scary. Enough. This is unbecoming, boys. What do you think you're doing right when the test is about to start? And Uraraka is still looking off, and she's currently looking in Kami's position, clenching her clenching her fist. I don't like it. Why do I feel so out of it? I was fine during the fighting earlier, says Uraraka. I don't like it. And then she tries to say his name, but the buzzer starts. Terrorists have launched a massive attack. So that's the scenario for this exercise, says Asui. Okay. There's wide-scale destruction throughout the city. Buildings are collapsing and people are hurt. It's starting! With most of the roads out of commission, rescue and relief squads are having a hard time reaching the scene. Another unfolding building! Because the anteroom is just completely folding out. Until they arrive, it's up to you heroes to take charge and rescue civilians. Save every life you can. Start! Gotta do this right. They mentioned a scoring system, but didn't explain the criteria. Until we know more, we'll do it just like during practice. And everyone's setting off. Let's head for the nearest metro zone for now. Stick together as a team. Look, a child! And the kid's just crying. Save me! Over there, my grandpa's trapped. He's getting crushed. Whoa, this looks bad. Where is he? What the heck was that? Points off for you! And then the kid just starts speaking like a normal adult. First, you ought to check if the victim can walk. Also, don't you notice my irregular breathing? And what about the copious blood pouring from my head? Those with licenses know that assessing the victim's condition comes first. So HUC is doing the scoring themselves? You've already proved how unprepared you are for this. Open your eyes and take a look around. Let's designate this area as a danger zone for now. Make the zone bigger. The terrorists could strike again at any moment. First, let's try to open the roads and create a landing space for rescue choppers. Clear the way! And the furry dude is just using his ability to clear out special areas. People are using their quirks already in order to properly prepare for the rescuees. The waiting room should be our first aid station. I think it's big enough to be a full-blown evacuation center. I'll take care of setting up the triage. Triage is a method of assigning priority order in injuries based on their severity. When it comes to this stuff, my kids might be lagging behind. It's more than just the literal rescue and evacuation. Licensed heroes are supposed to fill in for fire brigades and police officers until they arrive. They keep everything running smoothly until other professionals can take over. Heroes have to perform all sorts of tasks in order to rescue people. But first and foremost... Oh, wait, so the kid's still saying this. It's more than just the literal rescue and... Okay, I can't tell. I can't tell who's speaking this, if it's the kid rescuee or if it's Miss Laugh who's doing it. But first and foremost, we're worried and in pain. We're worried, in pain, scared. The first thing we hear from you shouldn't be, whoa, this looks bad. That's no good at all. And then he looks back for All Might. You're okay, because I am here. And then Midoriya slaps his face to get in the game. Get it together. What am I doing? Flip that switch. Passing this test and earning our licenses isn't just some stepping stone. This is all about the dream I'm pursuing. It's okay. Over there, my grandpa. And he's back. Not to worry, I'll save him. Gotta give this my all. Can you walk? Show me your head for a minute. I'll get this poor child to the evacuation center. The rest of you go on ahead. I need to face y'all. I need to face y'all when I do this. Got it. Good luck. You're okay. You're okay. That's all you can say? You suck at this. And then Uraraka's still looking at him, silently. Why am I feeling this way? You like him, don't... And this is flashing back when Aoyama and Uraraka were facing off against 13, and also with Ashido speaking to the girls inside the dorm at the time. You like him, don't you? It's love! These feelings, I need to bottle them up. I see Deku giving it all for his dream. I think it's so cool how he never holds back. There's someone you're crushing on, and you're thinking you want to be like them. And this is a flashback to what Toga said. I remember some things. I'm so inspired to try as hard as he does, and that's why I need to keep these feelings under control. And then she sets off for herself. Now then, naturally, things won't go entirely as planned. Chapter 110, Rescue Exercise Continued. Shiketsu High School first year Inasa Yorashi, hero named Gale Force, reporting for duty and ready to rock some rescues. I'll do my friggin' best! And he just sends a massive wind wave tunneling through the city, and it kind of... Oh. Cool. Inasa.
Oh ho ho, wind is it? Seems a bit sloppy, but he's sorting people and rubble by shape and size, using countless separate airstreams. What unbelievably delicate control.
Like, think about it. You have the power to manipulate the wind, or just generate wind, but you have enough control where you can separate people and rubble from each other with separate airstreams. It's a pretty cool quirk.
But still too sloppy. Points deducted.
And then Inasa just looks kind of awestruck. You shouldn't make a move before confirming safety conditions and the status of anyone injured. That only makes things worse. I see! Pardon my mistake! Hey, Kami's gone again. Why's she always running off? His first reaction is proof of Inasa's training and judgment. People usually wait until their second year for this test, but he petitioned to take it now. What's more, he can back up his talk, which is why they let him. However, he's a little too eager and is still lacking in experience and self-awareness. You do know you're the only one who was forced out of the running this early, Shishikura? I am aware. Oh, okay. Why not take this opportunity to reflect a bit? I think you were influenced a little too much. Influenced? By what? It's really been obvious ever since the whole stain thing. You accuse me of being influenced by a villain? Absurd. It isn't real. It really isn't. It's not entirely a bad thing. After hearing about Stain's ideology and having to accept the reality of All Might's retirement, lots of people out there are reconsidering their attitudes towards heroes. That said, the way you're acting now, letting notions of contempt and denial drive you, will lead you down a murky path and keep you from seeing the big picture. And it cuts back into the rescue environment.
There's someone in there, but they're not responding, and it's too dark to get a good look inside. How'd they even get in there?
Oh, and this person can detach their limbs like one of those fall away toys. Like you press the button and they just completely fall apart. But when you release the button, they go straight again. That person, that chick, I say, has a quirk just like that. I can at least check their breathing and pulse for the time being. I'll carve out a space so we're ready to give them aid.
These guys are old hands at this.
Everyone, come this way, quickly! And we have another trapped person.
Oh, someone get me out.
There's a man in there. He's still conscious. This rubble's blocking our path. I'll move it out of the way.
That decision is gonna cost her points.
Wait a moment. And Yaoyorozu causes a stop barrier to pop out of her shoulder in order to keep Uraraka from making a very fatal mistake. Take a good look at the surroundings, and this actually surprises the rescuee. Part of another building is leaning against that wall, and it all just happens to be balanced. Move anything too hastily, and the entire structure might collapse.
Right, that'd be bad.
We can execute the rescue once I've created some pillars for extra support.
This would go much quicker if someone had a quirk to provide
support. Construction will also take quite a bit of time, I suspect. Just leave that job to us. And we got Sato and Sero using their quirks in order to build up a support beam to, reinforce the wall that Yaoyorozu was talking about.
I also reinforced the wall.
Go now, Uraraka. Right, I'll try to get some of this junk out of the way without disturbing the balance. Here I go. And she just starts using her quirk to make different pieces float off.
By no means perfect, but not bad at all. In large-scale disasters like this, there are never quite enough rescue workers on hand. That means the ones who are around have to make every action count as efficiently as possible. Trying to handle a job alone will only eat up precious time. The most important thing is knowing the limits of one's own quirk, so that roles can be divvied up appropriately for everyone. But a test like this is all about showing individual merit, so it takes a lot of courage to earnestly accept the role one has to play. It's something that can only be done by understanding the whole situation. But there's still wasted potential here. You bunch aren't quite qualified for this yet.
We're just standing around twiddling our thumbs here.
Indeed. A good number of us, in fact. Unlike in the first part of the test, it might be better to split up now. Let's form a few squads and move out.
Good idea, and don't forget to communicate with the other schools. We're here to save every life we can. Yeah! Too dark to see inside, you say? Allow me to illuminate the way forward. Oh, thanks. And Aoyama's just laying down, shooting his belly button laser up.
You really love that pose, don't you?
Aoyama, you think you can get the jump on all of us? Yaoyorozu, we'll be moving to the other sides now. Understood. This guy's right arm is broken. Give me some tape, Sero. Meanwhile, we hurt our arms. Save us. It hurts so bad. Shut up. Save your own selves. Huh? I know that's just his style, but come on. These two somehow ended up with Bakugo again. They might really be hurt, man. Well, in this scenario, we're supposed to be low-priority rescues with light injuries. I can't believe it. This kid was able to perceive that in an instant, telling us to save ourselves. Hey, they misunderstood the situation to his benefit. Let's at least guide them to a safer spot, says Bakugo. But taking that tone with us is no good. Points deducted. I'll get you to safety soon. And then he looks over. Hey, he's already at the evacuation center. So many already? You, let me have a look at that kid. At that child. Sorry, not kid. Oh, sure. He has a head wound. There's a lot of blood, but I don't think it's too deep. He's definitely alert enough to talk. Good. Bring him to that space on the right. Sorting the injured before giving first aid, that's a job for heroes to do. In the brief time it takes for ambulances to show up, then they need to hand over operations to the professionals as smoothly as possible. How are they doing? With the wave they started, it looks like most won't make the cut. Still, the HUC people aren't handing out as many deductions as we expected. so not bad on the whole. When it comes to protecting people in cities, a hero's job is complex and multifaceted. There's the actual rescuing, plus, and a massive explosion just comes right out of the wall in one side of the stadium. What? Whoa! Another terrorist attack? Guys, this is part of the exam! Seriously? More to deal with? So, what this dude was saying is, there's the actual rescuing, plus dealing with enemies. Can you really handle both situations? Gang Orca! This guy was one of the heroes chosen to join Endeavor and Best Jeanist during the League of Villains takedown operation in Camino Ward. He's a strong one. He sits at the number 10 spot right now, and he's number 3 in the heroes who looks like villains rankings. Now then. The villains have shown up and they're on the move. You hero candidates on the scene will suppress the villain incursion. You gotta be kidding me! We gotta fight too! A scenario that would give even the pros some trouble. All this for provisional licenses, says Aizawa-sensei. All while continuing the rescue operation. What's your move, heroes? Man, I gotta say, Gang Orca just looks awesome. Like, his whole crew looks awesome, but him walking with a full-on cape that makes it look like it's a part of his head is actually really, really cool. So we got Todoroki, Inasa, and Midoriya looking on as Gang Orca and his crew enters the scene. Chapter 111! Smoldering Start. About 3 weeks ago, 4 days after All Might vs. All for One, Hero Public Safety Commission HQ. And on the sign in this panel it says Provisional License Exam Planning Conference. Ball throwing? We really okay with that. Seems a little too playful. It's not about the balls themselves. The point is to create a chaotic environment to see if these kids can keep their heads and take quick action during emergencies. Same idea with round 2. If this is how it goes, we'll be testing their teamwork more than their individual abilities. That was the suggestion from the top brass at Police HQ. They're asking us to revise our criteria and standards for licenses. More of an order, really. Sure, having them set up evac stations and treat the wounded is a great way to test each examinee's individual knowledge, but we're being told to focus our evils on how well they collaborate and cooperate as teams. Cooperate, huh? All Might had it all. Power with enough charm to win the people over. The gulf between him and the perennial runner-up was always huge. I doubt we're going to find someone that charismatic again anytime soon. While we're waiting for the next All Might, hero squads with a focus on team unity are going to have to fill the gap. This order from up high is meant to make some headway on that front. And we see Gang Orca and his gang running towards the rest of the crew. Did they say villains? Over there! Right near the evacuation center. Why do I keep seeing it as excavation? It's evacuation. Right near the evacuation center. Having the villains pop out there is just plain mean. We're not done with the rescuing over here, but it's not like we can pretend this attack isn't happening, says Asui. And Todoroki just looks on. In this part of the test, each examinee gets a set number of points from the start. All scoring is based on the deductions that follow. HUC is responsible for judging the rescue efforts themselves, but beyond that, when it comes to maximizing efficacy via positioning, bird's eye view, stuff like that, is being evaluated by 100 of my fellow Public Safety Commission members, each equipped with scoring manuals and comprehensive data on the 100 examinees. One score is assigned to each kid down there. If someone's score falls below 50 points, they fail. Do your best, guys. Make good choices. Get the civilians to safety farther inside. Gotta move them as far from the villains as possible. Shindo! I'm gonna hit them with shockwaves spaced at 1 second intervals. Not letting them get any closer.
Too slow.
And there's a massive shockwave that hits Shindo.
Gang Orca. Quirk Orchidus. Does whatever an orca can, but on dry land, including an ultrasonic attack. It paralyzes his foes. Gang Orca? You gotta be kidding me.
Joke's on you, then. You left a single anchor to deal with a threat like me. Don't get cocky, kids. But he still manages to send... Whoa. But we have some ice show up. And it looks like it's Todoroki. Midoriya, we can help with the evacuation. Where were you guys? Over by the waterfront. Everyone else made for the city area, so we were short-handed, but when we saw the villains gathering over here, we came to back you up. Asui and a few others are keeping the rescue efforts going back there. And we have Todoroki just staring down Gang Orca. And then all of a sudden, we have someone coming in saying, blow the heck away! And it looks like Inasa. I recognize that big furry cape anywhere. Wind. A villain incursion, is it? What a heated turn of events they've decided to go with. And they both just stare each other down. Both Inasa and Todoroki. That's the dude who turned down his acceptance to UA. Good. Looks like a few fighters have arrived. Let's keep the evacuation moving in the meantime. The evac center where the victims are all gathered, it's the linchpin of the entire rescue operation, so making it a top priority is smart. More than that, though, this is the perfect role for Yoarashi and Todoroki with their overwhelmingly powerful quirks. Good job. Why did you have to show up? I hate all of you, as it flashed back to what Inasa said to Todoroki. That's my line. Every word out of this guy's mouth gets to me. You. Why don't you help evacuate the area? Your quirk's suited to that. I'll take care of these guys. Huh. And then a bunch of wind just blows out of his costume. Here they come, says Gang Orca, as they both rush him. Were they even aiming? Why fire? The heat made my wind rise. 'Cause he blocked my ice a second ago. I thought you came here to help. So stop blowing my flames off course. Yeah, well, you're still trying to steal all the glory. And Gang Orca's just looking like, really, dudes? Right now? Huh? That's rich coming from you. What's that supposed to mean? I shouldn't be surprised after all. You're Endeavor's son! This whole time. What the heck is your problem? My father's got nothing to do with it. And he gets nailed in the side. Have a taste of our cement guns! You won't be going anywhere once that hardens. Infighting? Infighting? Really? Couldn't have picked a worse time, boys. He's got everything to do with it, darn it! To me, heroes are all about bringing the heat. Their fiery souls inspire passion and hope in people. So it was a real letdown when... And it has a flashback of a young Inasa trying to get an autograph from Endeavor, but all he gets is a move it, stay out of my way. And that just sends him down that downward spiral of hate and Endeavor. Those eyes, all they were giving off was this icy rage. Then on the day of the entrance ceremony, I spotted you. I knew who you were right off the bat, 'cause... Move it. 'Cause you had those same eyes. Same eyes? Get a grip, man. I'm not him. We can't work this out now. In the end, he's just another Endeavor hater just like so many others. Gotta concentrate on the test in the meantime. Don't lose focus. Not now. I'm over all that crap about my father. No, I still hate him. It's true. And then his arm is just sizzling with heat. No, the test is what matters. And the examinees that are up in the stands are just looking like, what's going on with these guys? Ain't exactly the time for all that when facing down villains. Ugh. And the examinee proctor is just looking like, really? Can we just move on with this? You two are the only ones I'll never accept as true heroes. End of story! The test. And they both try to use their abilities, but they both keep offsetting one one another. Todoroki tries to use his fire, but it makes the heat of Inasa's wind quirk rise, so neither one of them can get a lick in towards Gang Orca and his gang. Again? You're really something, you know? The wind, it blew my flames. And it blows the flames towards the kid that can use shockwaves. Shindo. Blew the flames near Shindo. I remember. And Gang Orca just looks on, but Midoriya manages to use full cowling to grab Shindo out of the way of the fire and rescue him. What's the big idea? Staff introduction. Oh, okay, we're moving into the next chapter. Felt like something was on my neck. I ain't got no bugs in my room. My room is clean. You ever have those moments where you just feel like something's crawling on you? My body's clean. But you ever had those moments where it just feels like something's like... Yeah, I hate those moments. Chapter 112, what's the big idea? I've never been scared of anything as far back as I can remember.
It's neat how they scurry like that. I love these cool bugs.
I was the type who could get into anything. So before I knew it, I was totally obsessed with heroes. They dive headfirst into trouble and give it their all. Their red-hot fighting spirit meant everything to me. But that's why I don't like that one particular hero. That hero, he had this gaze full of hate towards something far off. He was the only thing in the world I couldn't stand. The written portion is over. Next up is the practical part. Last is the interview. You'll be in groups of 6 for the practical. Could the numbers we just called please proceed to the test site? Oh, so this is Present Mike saying all this.
Your test is a 3-kilometer foot race, but this isn't a race that can be finished just by running. Make use of your quirks to reach the goal.
And Inasa's just, like, his heart is pounding. The greatest hero school in all of Japan. The most hot-blooded school experience this country has to offer is waiting for me. But as he's running and using his wind quirk in order to, get a leg up in the race, Todoroki just uses his... Because at this point, Todoroki's only been using his ice side. He uses his ice to blow forward. He's stacking his ice to propel himself so fast. Those eyes really wig me out, but I have to give the guy credit for his red-hot skills. This is the first time that both Inasa and Todoroki meet each other. And he's already completely outpaced Inasa in the foot race. This dude's probably gonna pass. But whatever, I'll just have to use this chance to make friends with him. Maybe that icy stare doesn't mean a thing. And as they finish the race, pretty much almost neck to neck.
And number 41 is first, but only by a hair. 3 minutes less than the average time.
Oh yeah, I won! So that means that Inasa won the foot race ahead of Todoroki. Oh yeah, I won! But who can say about next time? You're awesome, man! You must be Endeavor's son or something, right? Too cool! Shove it. This is a test. Passing's all that matters. We're not competing or anything. He won't look at me. Move it. And that's when he gets that flashback of Endeavor's eyes. And it just hits him hard. But cut back to present day with Midoriya rescuing Shindo. What's the big idea? And they're both looking in shock. I'd expect more from the top schools. It might be over for those two. Too bad. It might be over for those... Oh man, something flew in my eye. No you don't. Even if I have to read this thing with one eye. It might be over for those two. I'm not going to read it with one eye. It might be over for those two. Too bad. And they're both looking at each other. Wind. A wind-based quirk. Right. He's the one from back then. Why didn't I remember him sooner? Especially an annoying guy like that. It's because I never really took a good look at him. To reject Endeavor. That's all I ever cared about. And then it cuts back way back when during Sports Festival where Todoroki is speaking to Endeavor. I forgot all about you. Whether that's good, bad, or something in between. I've been in a haze since that day. So this is what I get. My past, my blood. That's not stuff I can just easily forget. Where were we? As Gang Orca just appears right in front of Todoroki, and he tries to brace himself. That wind's getting on my nerves. And he sends a shockwave towards Inasa. Move! And it hits Inasa. Direct hit! It's our 1-2 combo with the big fish. He got hit with the ultrasonic attack from Gang Orca and with the cement gun from one of his subordinates. Let's get out there and make statues out of the rest of these kids. This is bad. I can't control my... Hey. And all of a sudden, he gets almost... Oh, he gets bodied by Gang Orca 2. Gang Orca grabs him and unleashes an ultrasonic attack on him. You reap what you sow. Both Inasa and Todoroki get downed in an instant. But Wind gets knocked in the direction of Gang Orca, and Inasa's still conscious. I couldn't knock him out completely at that range. While the big fish is cleaning up over here, how about we mess with the evacuation effort? All right! And as they try to run that, as the henchmen try to run that way, crap, dang it, what's the big idea? He's right. I've become everything I've hated. My own actions caused this. I gotta make up for it somehow. Oh no, they've broken through and they're headed this way. They're getting close. I'll try to hold them off. I'll stop. Stand back. And Shindo uses his vibration quirk to cause an upheaval right in the path of the Gang Orca henchmen. Shindo, I thought Orca's ultrasonic waves paralyzed you. Yeah, kinda. My limbs are still numb. Whether it's sound waves or vibrations, though, my brain's used to getting scrambled by my own quirk day after day. I've built up some resistance to it. But what the heck was that sneaky crap they pulled? Those 2 first years almost killed me. He's a little unstable. I've tripped him up, so now you gotta stop. Now you stop him for good. Split up and get the rest of those victims to safety. Well, now that the wind user's wings are clipped, I better go help my men. And he just drops Todoroki. All that pointless show boasting. Zero teamwork, not a hint of cooperation. No way I'll ever be a top hero at this rate. But if you're thinking the same as me over there, the heat made my wind rise. We'll swoop in from below. I'm so numb, can't move a muscle, but we gotta do this. We'll use fire and wind. And with a combination of their quirk, they engulf Gang Orca in like a big old firestorm. We'll use fire and wind to seal them up. Chapter 113, Tests Aftermath. And as a massive windstorm whips around Gang Orca, even while immobilized, they're still. Yorashi's force and accuracy might have taken a hit, but the paralysis wasn't enough to take him out. He's just barely managing to control his quirk. Meanwhile, Todoroki's completely paralyzed, but he can still cloak Yorashi's wind with his flames. It doesn't make up for their ridiculous squabbling earlier, but not bad. Not bad at all. He actually does say in there. It's not just me. Ooh, these panels are beautiful. They say that pounding rain hardens the ground. They say that pounding rain hardens the ground. They've realized their own mistakes and tried to fix things. I gotta say, I'm impressed with their persistence. Hey, look behind us! Big Fish is trapped by that fiery windstorm! Do you think he's really in trouble? Just like a real whale, Big Fish is vulnerable to drying out. Forget the wind, go after the flame user! And as they try to close in on Todoroki... Oh! He finally managed to use both his powers at once! Because he causes ice to appear right in the path of Gang Orca's henchmen, while he's also sustaining the fiery windstorm with his fire. Crap! Todoroki! He used both powers at once! Still can't use my left and right simultaneously. Gotta train more. It's slowing me down. Slow movements don't make a difference now, though. Should we head back to help? Whoa, hold on! Must take down these villains. And Midoriya just coming in full cal with his shoot style. just taking down all the henchmen. And they're trying to get him with his, they're trying to get him with the cement guns. But we got all the students of UA coming in to help him. The dude Ojiro coming in. They're saying the victims are all safe now, and backups coming soon. We got Uraraka and Yayorozu, along with some members of Class 1, I want to say 1B, or wherever the school, I gotta remember these names, you guys, my apologies. Other members of different schools are helping out people. I'll just leave it like that. Let's check on the remaining HUC members on standby. Looks like 3 more to go before it's all over. I'll put an end to the test at that point. Don't let up just yet, kids. I see a nap in my future. Naps are good. I never really appreciated naps until I actually started working this 3rd shift grocery job. Ojiro, Midoriya, we're here to help. And we got Ashido and Tokoyami coming in, taking out more henchmen. Make sure all injured parties are safe. We'll deal with this crew. One after the other. Make statues out of every last one of them. And then we have Asui being able to camouflage herself, coming in and taking out the guys from the back. Suyu, when'd you get here? My refined frog abilities are finally ready to use at battle. This is my new move, camouflage. Asui, how's the research and rescue going? All finished? Mostly, yes. And then we got the hair dude coming in. That's binding on the henchmen. It should get too high. Take a look at this guy. I thought I sent Inasa this way. The fact that there are so many pawns left is a disgrace to the Shiketsu name. Shiketsu's just too good. Everyone's showing up here, so the rescue effort's over? Don't let up. As Midoriya looks on at the firestorm that's still going. A red-hot prison of fiery wind. It's a decent idea, but if I was an ordinary villain, I might surrender and beg for mercy. However, that just ain't the case. From the second you hit me with this, I was already planning my next move. Nah. And he lets out like a massive screech that clears the firestorm away. Well, what now? I've got nothing. Then Midoriya comes in. Please get away from them! And he slams into Orca. Midoriya. You. It's always you. Ahem. At present, every last HUC member on the field has been rescued from impending danger. Just now? Must have been our doing. But I wanted to crack some skulls. Says Bakugo, because it turns out that Kaminari and Kirishima are the last 2 people to bring in the last 2 HUC members. Therefore, I declare that this test is over! It's over? The results will be announced once all scores are tallied. Those with injuries, please proceed to the medical area. Everyone else get changed and stand by for instructions. And Midoriya is just looking back and forth at Todoroki and Inasa. Big fish. Sorry, sir. Big fish, sir. Big fish, sir. Sorry we screwed up so bad. And that restraint gear must have made it hard to move. Seriously. So, it just means that Gang Orca is a lot stronger than these students are expecting, because he's actually wearing restraint gear on him. Remember back to All Might when he had all that gear. But then again, it was All Might, so he had twice as much gear, twice as much restraint weights on him than the rest of the teachers during that fight. So the strength of pro heroes are just massive. I really wish that there was a superhero game out there that you can play where you can make your own character and kind of, just be a hero or a villain. I mean, I know there's DC Universe Online, but I haven't played that in years, I want to say. No, even without this gear weighing us down, the flame tornado was no joke. Then there was the damage I took from drying out, and his sneak attack at the very end. If the test had dragged on, I'm not too sure I'd have made it out in one piece. And as we cut back, let me sit back so that way I can just face this way instead of being like this. Because I keep turning. Maybe it's the chair. I like facing this way. I don't know. My apologies. I digress. Moving on. What's gonna happen now? I mean, we did all we could, but I wonder what they think. This is totally the worst part. As long as you tried your best. And same here. Todoroki's just looking in silence. But still. It's been a long battle, boys and girls, but now it's time for the results. Before that, though, regarding the scoring system, we of the Heroes Public Safety Commission, along with the members of HUC, were deducting points on 2 issues as we watched you perform. Essentially, we judged you on your ability to act flawlessly in a crisis. Anyhow, here are the names of those who passed the test, in alphabetical order. Keeping everything I've said in mind, please take a look. And as the names pop up, there's a ton of names. I'm there. I really passed. There's like this Pippi Longstocking looking chick in the crowd, and there's one dude that looks like he's Ronald McDonald with the red nose and everything. What's Ronald trying to do, trying to get a hero license? Me. Midoriya! Izuku! Yo. And the only Y names is Yaoyorozu Momo and Yusa Kaito. Nothing between Ya and you. Nope. Not there. Chapter 114, Results Aftermath. This is the right chapter, right? Yeah. Results Aftermath. Minoru Mineta, that's my name there. I'm up there, says Jiro. Me too, says Ida. Nice, says... man, I can't remember all the names, but pretty much all the members except for Bakugo and Todoroki made it on the list. Uraka! Tokoyami. Thank goodness. Ojiro. Merci, Aoyama. There I am, Sato. And Koda's like the only one who doesn't really say all that much. But he's happy that he made it too. Woohoo, says Ashido. Steady diligence pays off, Yaoyorozu. Ribbit. Asui, I did it! Yeah, oh yeah, Kaminari. I passed, but I didn't. And as they look on, the only people with the T that made it in the list is Tokoyami Fumikage. There's no Todoroki in there. Todoroki! As Inasa closes in on Todoroki, he stares and looms at him, and he just completely bows his head into the ground. I'm sorry! It was entirely my fault that you didn't pass. My pettiness is to blame. I'm sorry! Nah, I started it back then. There's no need for all of this. This is a part of my journey as his son. It's just another obstacle to overcome if I want to become a hero. You approach me openly and honestly and help me realize some things. Todoroki, you failed? So neither of our top 2 dudes passed. Time to clean up your potty mouth, huh? Words matter, you know. Just like your meat-loving senpai said. Pretty obvious why you failed. Shut up if you don't want to die. You both failed because you two are big time. Your own defining qualities work against you here. The old hierarchy's falling to pieces. And Mineta's being turned away from Todoroki. With Maeda, like the fact Mineta's just so mouthy. Koda doesn't say much, Mineta says too much. Todoroki. Oh, Todoroki. Both him and Inasa are just kind of pondering on this. I assume you've all had a chance to view the results. Next we'll be handing out score sheets. We've explained the scoring system in detail, so read them over carefully. Kirishima? Thanks! Give me mine. Bakugo, you're not gonna get yours. Wait your turn. Let me see, Kaminari. Hold on, I want to read it first. It was a punitive scoring system with a threshold of 50 points. On your score sheets, you'll see how many points you lost for each given action. 61. Close one. I got 84. Pretty awesome, huh? See, the simpler you are, the better. Hold up, Momoyao, you got 94? How'd you do, Ida? 80. I didn't say they say I didn't make good practical uses of my talents. And you, Midoriya? I got 71 points. It wasn't because of something I did, but my behavior before taking action. I lost points for hesitating and stuff. I'm simply grateful to know what I ought to work on. Yeah, but it's kind of weird. It was punitive with no way to gain points and a 50-point cutoff. A system with no hope of recovery once you stumble. But then why'd they let people who fell below 50 keep going instead of removing them from the arena? Going forward, those who pass now have the legal right to act in a heroic capacity, but only during emergencies. That means fighting villains, rescuing people in disaster scenarios. Even without a professional hero's guidance, you're permitted to take action on your own. But keep in mind that every action you take comes with a heavy responsibility to society. Meat Lover Senpai wasn't necessarily wrong. Denki! And that's just a quote right in front of Kaminari in the panel. As you know, the great hero All Might is out of commission. His active presence served as an important deterrent to crime. Without that factor holding them back, we can be sure that the more brazen villains out there will start showing their faces. The balance has shifted, and the world is bound to start changing in a big way. With that in mind, know that you, the next generation, are the central pillar of society. Now, as heroes, you will set a standard. You must become the new bulwark, keeping crime at bay. But be aware that the licenses you now receive are provisional ones. The road ahead is still a long one, so study hard at your respective academic institutions. Now then, as for those who didn't make the cut, don't be disheartened by your scores. You don't have time for that, especially because there's still a chance. If you sign up for and complete a special 3-month training course and pass the individual test at the end, you too will be rewarded with your provisional licenses. So, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Inasa now have a chance to get their licenses if they complete this 3-month-long course. Boy, I'd love to be part of My Hero Academia, but my math sucks, so I don't know how I'd do with that. Maybe I could get trained by Yaoyorozu. You may recall that I just said going forward. Looking to that future, we need as many top-class heroes as we can find. The first round was basically a qualifier, and you 100 who were chosen to move on all have potential worth cultivating. That's exactly why we monitored you all to the very end. Just because you failed doesn't mean that all hope is lost. Rather, if you go back and work on your deficiencies, you have the potential to surpass even those who triumphed today. Attending the training course while maintaining your regular coursework will make for a packed schedule, but if you're up for the challenge, the next test is in April. Heck yeah! Yes, please, and thank you! Todoroki is the only one who doesn't respond to this out of Bakugo and Inasa. Isn't that great news, Todoroki? Just give up, won't you? No need to work so hard. Take the easy route. The hierarchy. Mineta really wants to make it so that, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like the fact that Todoroki is on such a high level in the class that now it's time to knock that guy down a peg so I can start to move up myself. I'll catch up soon. And so finally, the provisional license exam is complete. We took another big step forward. A step forward to becoming heroes. Really, Midoriya? Like, I'm looking at this panel right now, and on his license, he's got like this super nervous smile on. Beady eyes, and just looking crazy awkward. Like, dude, you got your license. This is a license that's gonna stick with you for a while. At least look a little bit better, but he's in tears too. And it says hero on the back. Are you crying, Deku? Not really. I mean, so many people have helped me along the way, and I caused trouble for so many others, so it's like, this is proof of progress. It just makes me happy. What's my time? Ooh, I'm making good time. I'm actually doing this earlier than I normally do. I've got to show this to Mom and All Might. Yep, for sure. Eraser! Glad I caught you. I was thinking we should bring our classes together for some joint training. Sure, that could be good. Hey!
It's that Shiketsu guy. It's the Shiketsu guys.
Todoroki, I'll see you at the training course, but I still don't really like you. Just apologizing in advance for that. Sorry! That's all.
How weirdly considerate of him.
I'll have to make the best of it too. Oui. Is he audacious or sensitive? Or perhaps both? Excuse me? What exactly is involved in your training that helps to cloak your presence? We don't do that sort of training. But that girl with the pursed lips, she was saying about how, oh, it seems like she wanted to talk to me more, so if that's possible, can you tell me where I can find her? You mean Kami? She wasn't feeling well. She already took a taxi to the train station. Oh, I see. Sorry to bother you. Now that I think about it, she's been acting really weird these past 3 days. Different than normal. And as we see Kami walking in an alleyway, we see stuff, glops of stuff just falling off her.
You finally picked up. Where are you? What are you doing?
And it turns out that Kami this whole time has been Toga!
What are you doing, Toga? I just finished a fun play date. You're supposed to report...
Oh, that's the showman.
I just finished a fun play date.
You're supposed to report back at regular intervals. If one of us gets arrested, the whole gang is in trouble.
Relax, I've come this far and never been caught, right? Besides, my little venture paid off. Tomura's gonna be thrilled. Himiko Toga, quirk, transform. She can transform into anyone by ingesting their blood. I got my hands on some of Izuku's blood.
Chapter 115, Unleashed. Knowing who you are is what really matters. And we're cutting to this guy in his apartment building with a scar going down the middle of his head. Strolling off to work with a satisfied expression. That's no good.
I think it's lovely.
Every stinking one of them's just another model citizen. What am I doing, you ask? Just my usual routine.
Something real special.
My day starts when I grab a smoke and do some people watching. It's been half a month since the fight that forced All Might to retire in Kamina Kanagawa. Day after day, the talking heads on TV and the internet stoke the fires of unease with their constant blathering. Surely we're going to see big changes in our day-to-day lives. At this point, we ought to be looking into how those changes will present themselves and what we can do to prepare. You're different, Miyagi. I respect that.
I don't.
If we're being honest, I think All Might just got too big for our own good. So big that we all lost sight of things, right? Oh, if we're being honest, I think All Might just got too big for our own good. So big that we all lost sight of things. It was the news reporter still talking on TV. Right. You want to talk change? For the average person, that's a big one. The one who took over as the #1 hero. Endeavor. Most of the growing unease centers on him, and it makes sense. He's not the kind of person the public can readily accept. Company Employee 36, a Japan without All Might. Reactions after the fact. Can't help but compare him to All Might. Look, it's not like I've really got anything against Endeavor, you know. Still, you can't help but compare the guy to All Might. In a word, he's too rough. As for what I think, he's just an average guy playing superhero.
He's a real superhero.
The crown just sort of fell onto his unqualified head. It's not a good situation for him either. And in a list on Moogle, it has Endeavor, Endeavor Hero, Endeavor Hate, Endeavor Scary, Endeavor Incident Resolution, Endeavor Cool, and Endeavor's Kids in the, search bar. If they offered me the title of fading superhero symbol, I'd say no thanks. Yes, it's true, Endeavor's record of resolving incidents is impressive, but there are all too many cases when he took things too far with his violent temperament. What's more, his support relies far more on the 20 to 40-year-old male demographic than All Might's. As for us, we shouldn't just passively protect the status quo. Isn't it our duty to bring back a culture of excitement around heroes? Rather than harping on the negatives, let's think about the positives that And the dude in the apartment building turns off the TV. Time to go. The fading symbol thing isn't about power, though. It's about people's hearts and minds. Miyagi knows that. It's about power! Shut up. Just shut up already. I am here. Inspirational words for those on the right side of the law. For others, though, that phrase was like a curse. Those true to themselves, I win, I did it, I really did it. And we have this one dude that looks like he would come straight out of Persona, breaking out of a casino with what looks to be like either a it looks like a whole cash register and the counter attached to it. When that curse is lifted, of course this is what you get. You gotta be kidding me, we need a hero over here. Still, some people never know what to do with their own quirks. They give in to temptation, so things like this are common. Crap! Pretty cocky pulling a stunt like that in broad daylight. From now on, things will be different. And we got this one dude who appears to be a hero, who looks like kinda like a retro cowboy steampunk. But he gets bashed over the head by someone that looks like they're trying to pattern off Stain. Hurry up, Yellow, that idiot! He ripped out the entire counter! Too bad for you, hero. There's more than one of us on this heist. All together now! We're the Reservoir Dogs Gang! Remember the name well! Running a red light's not so scary when everyone's doing it. It's getting a lot more common now to team up and plan heists like this. Still, what we're looking for is a little more. What is it, Girin? You doing well? It's been a while. How about yourself? Don't know. Can't tell whether I'm doing well or not. Really? Sounds rough. Answer my question. How are you doing? Good. It's been busy here that I could scream for joy. The past week or two, we've been moving serious numbers of costumes and accessories through the black market. Demand has practically doubled. All thanks to the League of Villains. You idiots sure have charisma, and I'll give you that. Good to hear. No, it's not! Shut up, darn it! So, what is it? I'm busy here. I've got nothing but time! And this dude is having like a war in his own mind. I haven't been in touch with Dabi. Do you know where he is? Apparently Shigaraki wants to round up the whole gang. They're probably trying to get in touch with you again. They'll probably try and get in touch with you again at some point. I already know. I don't know. Don't talk out of turn. Okay, I can tell you're busy. Take it easy. And as if he's having like a mental break. Crap, I'm me. As of now, the League of Villains is spread out, hiding, trying to elude the investigators. If we're meeting up, it must be about expanding the organization again. Who the heck are you? Get that girl's face out of here. What are you looking at? Buzz off or die. Don't need types like you. Be gone. And he just waves his hand and a bunch of blue fire just engulfs them all. I guess trash like you is good fuel for my fire. And then we have Magne meeting up with different people. Then we got the lizard dude, I forget his name. He's off walking somewhere. And we still got this dude still struggling in an alleyway. Gotta put it on. Splitting apart. I'm splitting! And he puts on the mask, and it turns into the Deadpool type dude that we met in the forest when they were having that training. That camp training. With this on, I become one! And then there's this explosion in the background. Let me explain. Long ago, I got my kicks doing bad things too. My quirk is double. I make one thing into two. It's a real simple power. I'd make a clone of myself and that clone would make another. Before I knew it, I had a whole team of doubles assembled. I had my doubles do all sorts of things, and I was their king. But in the end, we weren't too happy about me being king. That nearly got me killed by me. Whatever I doubled wouldn't go away until it took a certain amount of damage. We all started arguing about who was the original. Can you picture it? That insanity continued for a full 9 days. It ended when my doubles massacred each other and vanished. Since then, I've never been quite sure if I'm the real me. There's no place for insane guys like me in society. As for the people who heroes like to save, yeah, they're always the good, virtuous ones. Anyway, I finally accepted me for me and decided to make myself useful to the League of Villains, because I want to be okay with me being me. A lot of me's. What I'm searching for now is other people just as crazy as I am. Oh? The aimless wackos looking for a place to belong. There are so many capable men, and all they think to do is rob a convenience store. Kinda weird. You'd think a group this big might just, have bigger goals than that. You're all sick, and you need a cure. I know who this guy is, and boy is he something. We've got the cash. Better get going before any heroes show up. Overhaul! I'm surrounded by sickness. Here, there, everywhere. But now those nutjobs are starting to carve out a place for themselves in this world. Okay, to ask or not to ask? Whether it's us or the heroes, everyone's starting to take on a different look nowadays. Knowing who you are is what really matters. Who you want to become, what you want to do. It's real important. While Class A was taking the provisional licensing exam, the second half must be starting soon. Or maybe it already passed. Or maybe it already has. I was under the impression you were going to focus on your role as an educator going forward. So what do you want from me? And now we have All Might sitting in front of All for One. Just hoping to settle things for good, All for One. Chapter 116, Meeting in Tartarus. And we're at this maximum security prison looking area. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually starting to catch up with the anime. This place is so restrictive, All Might. My back gets itchy, so I try to scratch it against the chair. In that instant, the turrets all around the room lock on to me. They're constantly monitoring my vital signs and brainwaves. The second I even think about using a quirk, my life is forfeit. Deep underground, constantly monitored, guarded by layer upon layer of security. It's how they dispose of the broken like me. Our society calls this place Tartarus, from Greek mythology. It's the name of a deity representing the underworld itself. Even I would have a tough time struggling against this particular god. No, you can't get out at all. Believe what you want. Why have you come? Where's Gran Torino? Where's Gran Torino? Or are you on your own? I assume the costume is your way of clinging to lingering regrets. Or no, don't tell me. You're still playing hero. You talk too much. Humor me. I haven't had a real conversation what feels like forever. Where is Shigaraki? Don't know. Unlike yours, my chick has left the nest. And All Might's just silent. What do you want? What did you want? You surpassed your human limits. You might have lived forever with that body. Instead, you squandered your gifts on manipulation, exploitation, toying with people. What did you hope to achieve? This is hardly a productive discussion. I could tell you, but you'd never accept it. There are always people who just refuse to understand. We're the same, you and I. You looked up to heroes who stood for justice, while I looked up to the devil. Simple as that. I held on to my ideals and acquired the power to embody them. I would have spared no effort to live forever in a world shaped by those ideals. So why set up a successor? Really? You're asking me that? I love it. Because you stole everything away from me, of course. Look at that body. These tubes are the only things keeping me alive. My ideals had unlimited potential until you put an end to my designs. When people know the end is nigh, they leave legacies. Think about it. All the houses and buildings everywhere. Even the food we choose to eat would be different. It all passes from one person to the next. I was just trying to do what everyone else does. 3 more minutes, All Might. No, wait. You can't do this to me. I want to talk. More. All right, of course. I imagine society is shocked by your sudden retirement, but how are things going, really? There's an embargo on all information from the outside world. We ask you not divulge anything carelessly. Right. What a shame. But I have a hunch. Right about now, the media's probably going on about how concerns over your retirement and the people's reticence to accept your replacement endeavor warrant a renewed unification of hero society. Meanwhile, there are others who can sense the growing unease. Those in the shadows who never really supported heroes are starting to mobilize. They're teaming up, thinking that they, too, have a shot at changing how the world works. I'm sure Tomura and his people are still lying low, waiting and getting a good look at the other groups rising to power, hoping to spread their influence. And I bet some of those villain groups are even butting heads. That's probably how things are at the moment, right? Assuming all my machinations are going according to plan. Let's keep in mind, though, that it's really all thanks to your retirement and the public face you used to wear. But you can't save people anymore. All you can do is watch in horror at the explosion of villain activity that you caused. I picture you living out your remaining years cursing your own powerlessness. But tell me, really, how does it feel? And then All Might gets up in retaliation. That's close enough, All Might. Yes, people get angry when their true feelings are perceived. Yet here you are, unable to even punch me. What a shame. Don't assume you're the only one who understands. And I know every thought in your head, too. And Tomura's hated you this whole time. Shigaraki's related to my successor, and you've spurred him to kill me and the boy, too. Is that the plan? So? And then we cut back to Gran Torino saying, find him and then what? If you're seeing him as anything less than a villain, no good can come from it. No matter his parentage, he remains a vicious criminal. I won't die. I won't let Shigaraki kill me. I won't let myself be killed. The future in store for this world isn't the one you want. Settle things for good. That was your line. Is that really all you came to say? All Might, time's up. Please exit. The future you foresee, I'll smash it. As many times as it takes. You'll be the one watching in horror while you live out your remaining years. And then All for One says nothing, but just laughs at it as the door closes. Remaining years. Right. And then the doors close on him. Sorry, this had to overlap with school business. The hoops you gotta jump through to visit Tartarus are hellish. How'd it go? If you were hoping for any juicy intel, you're out of luck. Didn't think it'd be that easy. We're in for a long battle. His hunch was that they'll remain in hiding for now, slowly expanding the organization. I'll take that at face value. Pardon me. They'd be crazy to try another attack now. Oh, one more thing. I didn't have time to set it up between all the paperwork, but what about a meeting with Stain? It's Midoriya. Hold on a sec. Sure. And he looks at the phone, and it's a picture of Midoriya's license. Another big step forward, thanks to you. With All Might just smiling. Ah, sweet All Might. What's going on? Oh, nothing. Hey, watch the road, Tsukauchi. Back at Dorm 1A. Wonder if All Might saw it yet. Back to normal classes. Starting tomorrow. Texting someone. Gimme chocolate. Way too much going on lately. This was one summer I'll never forget. Yep, I was texting All Might. Hey, let me join. Aw, what a little cutie. Because Koda brought down his little rabbit.
Yo, meet me out front later. We gotta talk about your quirk.
Ooh. Chapter 117, A Talk About Your Quirk. Still making good time.
Meet me out front later.
Everyone sleep. Kirishima, Yaoyorozu, Todoroki, and Ida with the biggest sleeping snot bubble I have ever seen. Kachan, how far are we going? We're not supposed to be out at night. Hey! And he's not saying anything. Now they're in a city area. Ground Beta. This is Ground Beta. I fought you here during our first battle training.
I fought you here during our first battle training. It's where I lost to you. And I felt like crap about it ever since.
I somehow knew this was it.
A worthless, quirkless wonder like you somehow got into UA of all places, and somehow got a quirk of his own.
I got my quirk from someone else. I'm going to make it my own someday, and overcome you with my power.
You were always the little weirdo, spouting cryptic crap, and making that face like you were the only one in on the joke, climbing higher and higher. Since the whole sludge thing. Nah, since All Might first came to town, really. Higher and higher and higher. And now you've got your license, while I don't. I mean, what the heck, seriously?
I wouldn't say it necessarily reflects our actual abilities, but rather...
Shut up and listen, you gutter trash!
Sorry.
This whole time I felt crappy about it. It's been ticking me off. But then after the business in Camino, I got this idea.
That borrowed power, you've made it your own, huh? This is just a flashback quote.
There it was. See, I've been thinking that. You got your quirk from All Might. You know that big bad villain boss? Apparently he can suck up quirks to use or just give away. Hard to believe, but that one cat lady lost hers and can't even be a hero anymore. Then there's those freaking Nomu things with multiple quirks, so I'm pretty darn sure.
You're going downhill, All Might, and this time I'm smashing you into a prison cell. This is just a flashback, more flashbacks from the All Might versus All for One battle.
All Might and Boss Mook seem to know each other. We know it's possible to transfer quirks, and we know that wasn't the first time those two met. Then there's your whole I got it for someone else thing. When you met All Might, that's when everything changed, and All Might lost his strength. You're the only one who understood him differently. When All Might said, it's your turn. All Might wouldn't give me a straight answer, so I'm coming to you.
Luckily, Bakugo seemed to think you were pulling his leg. I can forgive you this time, but please don't tell another soul.
So you're not denying it. That's how it is, you jerk.
When he said we had to talk about my quirk, I had a feeling I deserved this for blabbing back then. If I tell you, what then?
You also look up to All Might. Ain't that right? So here I've got this punk I thought was a pebble in my path, all of a sudden getting recognized by the guy I admire. Which is why we're gonna fight. Here. Now.
Why? Huh? Wait, why does it have to be like that? I mean, we're not even supposed to be out here to begin with. At the very least, we could go sparring in a training room. There's no reason it has to be now.
If we fight out here, no one can stop us. You gotta just show me just what it is about you that made All Might want to bring you this far. And if it turns out your way of looking up to him has been right all this time, that means I was doing it all wrong.
Kachan, no matter how bad it looks, he always wins in the end. No matter how bad things looks, he always saves people with a smile.
Better get ready if you don't want to get hurt. You're all about kicking now, right?
Wait, we can't do this! And Bakugo just launches himself towards Midoriya. Kachan is right. No, that's how I got him before. So the right is a feint. And he just blows an explosion right in front of Midoriya. He manages to get his leg, but Midoriya manages to get the rest of his body out of the way. and his right leg is singed because of this. You think too much, you know. Come at me! Come on, please, Kachan! Chapter 118, Meaningless Battle. 2 students from Class 1A detected at Ground Beta. I thought I just saw something crawling on my shirt. I'm good. It was probably just some dust. 2 students from Class 1A detected at Ground Beta outside of regulation hours. Class A, homeroom teacher is Eraserhead. Intercom line number 8. Hey, Eraserhead. 2 of your students are at Ground Beta unsupervised. Take responsibility. Come discipline them. Seriously? I am quite serious. I can't tell if it's the robot speaking or if it's someone else. What the heck? And then someone stands in front of him and keeps him from leaving. But this is Bakugo versus Midoriya, and they're both fighting each other. That means I was doing it all wrong. I said, hold on, do we really gotta fight? And he just prepares more explosions in his hands. It doesn't mean you were wrong about anything. No one ever said that your looking up to him was wrong. And then another explosion by Bakugo. I said wait, Kachan. In the flashback to their childhood, he was always trailing behind me. Are you okay? No matter how many times I knocked him down, he always had his eyes glued to my back. No running! Fight me! And then they got hero chips. Oh, All Might licensed hero chips. And they got a card inside. And both Midoriya and Bakugo get the same type of All Might card. And we looked up to the same guy. Let me tell you, that sort of self-respect is important. Without a doubt, you've got the makings of a pro. I get it, this is about Midoriya's incredible growth, right? But when he starts at level 1 and you're at level 50, naturally you'll be growing at different rates. So how? Bakugo versus Midoriya just going full on. And they're both going at each other. I mean, the best way I can describe it is they're both going at each other and they're both blocking and taking each other's hits. How? But he gets knocked back. Are you okay? Quit freaking worrying about me. Just fight, I mean, what the heck? How? How'd I end up chasing after a dweeb who was always playing catch-up? Why'd a twerp like you get that kind of power? You got All Might to recognize you. You got way stronger. So why was it me? Why was it me who put an end to All Might? If only I'd been stronger. If I hadn't been kidnapped by those stupid villains, everything would have been fine. All Might's trying to keep it a secret himself. He hasn't told anyone. But even if I try to forget, sometimes it's all just comes rushing back to me. I've got no friggin' idea what I'm supposed to do. All along he's been brooding about it, even more than me, this whole time. He's in such agony, thinking about it. Do we really have to fight? The battle might have been pointless. Win or lose, maybe it didn't really matter. But at that moment, I knew I had to fight. And he starts to go full cowling. No, this is perfect. I've been wanting to find out if my shoot style works against you or not. Because the only one who understood what Kachan was feeling was me. If we're really doing this, I'll give it my all. Volume 13, A Talk About Your Quirk, End. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another reading of My Hero Academia, Volume 13, A Talk About Your Quirk. I hope you all enjoyed. I can't wait to see you all in the next video, so have a fantastic day. Firstly, before I go out, I just want to say thank you all for the monumental support for this channel. Whether it's you guys just coming in and watching my One Piece videos, which tends to get the most attention, I just want to say it really is an honor for me to be a YouTuber that you guys just come and just, watch. I know, and I said this in a previous video, I made a comment about it, but I'm saying this now. I know not everything that I upload, not even my Hero videos get as much attention as my One Piece. Maybe it's because I have to catch up to the new chapters, but who knows. But I know not everything I do on my channel is going to, just take off as much as my One Piece stuff does. But I really do appreciate it that you guys just come out and see me. I'm humbled by knowing that I'm able to entertain you all. So, hope you all enjoyed. I cannot wait to see you all in the next video. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!